Hey, hey, hey!
Welcome everyone to 90's Mags. What a joyous episode to have. Good to be back. Normally I'm joined here myself and D-Man, but I've got a wonderful deputy in place in the mighty Win. And we're joined also today by Boki. What's happening, lads?
Whether you're saying that at 10 o'clock or whenever, it'll be a different story.
Yeah, we'll see if everyone's got the short straw or the long straw having us on today. But yeah, D man, yeah, thinking of you, buddy, and yeah, hope you have a good one. So we're gonna try to do you some service on this. Everyone that joins us, you know how it is to pay the rent, keep the lights on. Got to hit those likes if you can, please. And anybody that's new to the channel, be sure to give us a like and subscribe. And of course, share it with your loved ones, your friends. Let's keep it moving. So, boys, what a win! What a win!
What a win.
4-1.
Cannot get the smile off my face, I'll tell you.
What's happening? I'd love to hear your thoughts. I mean, just generally about the result and the game, sort of high level. Um, yeah, what did you make of it? Oh, oh,
Hello, hello, hello.
okay. What's it?
Yeah, mate.
What's happening?
Hey, hey, get on, do your stuff, my man.
What's happening? What's happening?
What's
Sorry, I'm
going
late.
on?
I
Oh,
thought
sorry. I should have checked. I didn't know you were coming through.
I'd pop in. You know.
Yeah, come through, come through.
How's it going? How's it going?
Yeah, going good, my man.
Yeah,
You just
yeah.
kicked off.
Okay. Well, proceed, man. Carry on. Don't mind me.
No, take it away. You're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat now.
No, but listen. I take you've done the introduction, and all that. So you want to find out win thought of the game, innit?
Yeah, literally just getting the high level views, yeah, of what they thought of the game.
Okay. Win.
Well, I'm delighted. I can't say I was particularly enamoured with the starting lineup, other than the fact that Ramsdale was between the posts, which I thought was a good thing. I was astounded that Tonali was on the bench. I mean, literally astounded. But hey, who needs Tonali? You know, I've got some stats I can show you, and which I had from one of our shows last week, and this just makes those stats even worse. You know, when he doesn't start, we do better. As crazy as that may seem. So there you go. But just absolutely delighted. Again, the result, kind of, as with the Man City result, you get the result, everybody's buzzing, and everybody thinks it's been a fantastic game, which it was. But if the result, if things had turned out slightly differently, just it's small margins in this game, and it could have been a bad result. And that's why I cannot get away with why one game is suddenly disaster, or even a few games. The game is the season is 38 games long. That's the time to make your judgments.
Okay. Okay. Have you given your 2 pence yet, or?
No. Echo what Win says. Great result. Great game for us. I think it could have went one or two ways in the first half, especially the first half of the first half, first 20
Yeah.
minutes, if you like. In regards to, we did the same sort of thing where we scored and then seemed to let them come on to it quite a lot. But on this occasion, obviously they didn't score, so in the end it ended up a brilliant result. Just jumping on the back of what Win says there, he's right. People do jump on and say, as soon as there's a few bad results, say, oh, this is terrible and all that. this is one win. You know, we're not on a huge run of wins. We're on one win. So yeah, it was good game, great result. Really enjoyed the game. Let's not jump on the bandwagon now of saying everything's fine. It's you know it's a start. We've had false dawns before, so don't want to be negative about it, but just remember we have been here before, and it hasn't always went right the next game.
9 wins out of 13.
9 wins out of 13, true, but our first away win in the league all season or since April. But like you said, you have to put into perspective. But the game itself, I thought, to me personally, I don't think there was ever really from the moment we scored early. I don't think there was a threat for Everton to come back. I know they had a couple. They put a bit of pressure on after we scored. They had a couple half chances, but that was good blocks from Burn and whatnot. Ramsdale didn't really have that much to do before we got our second goal, and then from then on it was plain sailing. Yes, they got that goal disallowed in the second half, but I don't think that would have changed things dramatically. It was a very good performance. I think there was stuff to build on from the Marseille performance until Pope's clanger. But I think the away win was coming. It would have to come eventually, but it was good to do it in style. And like you said, which we'll get to about the lineup as well. Eddie Howe made some changes, some surprising, some not so surprising. But all in all, yeah, happy. But again, it doesn't really mean much unless we back it up with consecutive wins from here. But yeah, that's me.
So Spurs on Tuesday,
Yeah,
Burnley on Saturday. So it says Spurs at home, by the way,
yeah.
and Burnley at home. Can you foresee any problems there?
No.
No, but I just don't think it's going to be as straightforward as a lot of people are saying. Because I think Burnley will be harder than Spurs, if I'm honest. Because Burnley are quite, resolute defensively. They'll sit back to frustrate us. Tottenham, you don't know what you're going to get, but they have a good away record. To be fair, up until the Arsenal game, they had the best away record in the league. So you never know. I don't think it's going to be straightforward, but we are pretty much formidable at home. So expect 3 points there and against Burnley, but I just don't think it's going to be, a battering. Any game's going to be a battering. But before we go any further, let's look at some of these comments. I know a few people are tuned in. Big up the Red Pitch podcast. He said hit the likes on the way in. Do what he says, my people. Get the likes up, get the album going and that. But thanks for that. Big up Kante in the building as well.
What's happening?
They said, bro, Winterford's Eddie Howe FC. Look at the shirt. Reffing Eddie Howe to the death, mate. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Big up Paul. Paul said, I hope Sandro, Bruno, Miley is the first team midfield going forward, which we'll talk about. Would Eddie have played Ramsdale if he wasn't injured, or would play Pope if he wasn't injured or supposedly injured? We'll never know. And we'll talk about that as well. Yeah.
Come on.
That's an interesting point. It's an interesting point. Big up Kim Cameron in the building as well. Well done to the Toon, but Everton were not at the races. The test will be away to United.
I've got a view on it.
Yeah, I understand, but Everton weren't at the races, but we also made them look very poor. Because remember, they've only lost one game at the home ground before yesterday, and no one scored 4 there. We put them to the sword, and we to a point we made them look rubbish. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong; some of the selection might be questionable, that suspension and whatnot, but from the early goal, I think that was the killer for them.
I think realistically, though, we'll get into the positives because I think there's a lot of positives. I agree with you, D-Man, in terms of you talked about stuff to build on. I think there's good combinations. We can see the difference certain players have made to the playing style coming back in. And I think we're starting to arguably know, probably what our strongest team might be if Eddie isn't stubborn, right? So we'll come into all those things. There's a lot of positives, but I think the reality is Everton are a poor side. And with the quality we have and how much we spent, we should be beating them anyway. Now, the only reason we thought that we might not win is because we've been in a bad run of form and it's been a very mixed and patchy season. But if it was a regular thing, we'd say, yeah, of course, we can beat them. And when you look at Everton, they don't have the quality. The goalkeeper's decent, as we know. But outside of that, you've literally got Ndiaye, Dewsbury Hall, who did score a good goal, Grealish, of course. And then, that's essentially it. That's all they've got. And for me, time and time again, when they did get the ball up the pitch, because there were periods that they dominated possession, Barry was the one that let them down, and I don't know why the coach persisted with him. But again, we'll get into that. I just don't think they had enough quality, and I think we were very efficient with the ball when we had it. Actually, we were very clinical, which is something we've kind of been wanting to see from the team for a long time. So I think it's a kind of a tale of two halves, sort of glass half full, glass half empty kind of thing.
There's an interesting part from MB, big up MB79. So why is it every time we win, we get the excuse that the losing team were very poor, away we were really good yesterday? And I agree with that one. I agree because Everton, you say they lack the quality. They've got Grealish, they've got Ndoye, they've got Dewsbury Hall. You know what I mean? They've got players there.
And that's it.
And Pickford. Pickford is
our team to theirs.
But
team to theirs.
Yeah, but everyone thought we was going to lose. Most people thought we was going to lose.
A majority of the time, they've been fighting relegation, and then they had a decent season with.
But aren't they above us in the league? Right? They're above us in the league. They've had a very good home record.
I know because we've been so poor.
Yeah, but they've got a very good home record. So everyone expected, even if they expected us to win, they expected a very tough game, and they didn't. Remember, this is a team coming a 1-0 win away from against Manchester United with 10 men. Yeah. Their tails are up.
So in terms of the effort you put in, it's the same thing happened to us with Man City and Marseille. When you put in a lot of effort, it's hard to gas and go again. But what I would say is, like I said, it's not about us not playing well. People aren't listening when I'm talking. I'm not saying we're not playing well. I'm saying that the quality of Everton is not that good as well. So you add those ingredients together, and
so what teams will we have to beat away from home for you to really rate it?
No, I'm not saying I didn't rate it. I'm saying we're going to get into positives later.
I hear it. But what team would you go against before we play them? Saying if we beat them, then it's amazing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, every game is different, right? But I'm going back to what Boki said: is let's not get carried away because we tend to do that. We win, and it's like, we're back.
No one said we're back. Nobody said we're back. It's just a case of it's a genuine question. Why is it that it is a case that when we beat a team away from home, or if we beat a team, remember when we beat Man City, it's because they didn't take their chances. When we beat Everton, it's because they're a poor side. But both games were expected to lose, and we beat both of them.
Man City
by the way, when we beat Everton, look how much we've spent.
Man City is a very credible win, right? Man City is a very credible win. Yes, they did have an off day, but again, we deserve to win on the day. And there's no dispute. We've won 4-1. So it's not like Everton stood a chance in the game. But what I'm reflecting is that people have to balance it and understand is we're going into the game pensive because of our poor form, not because we think Everton can actually beat us. Does that make sense?
No, that's true.
No,
it does. I hear what you're saying.
And a lot of it depends. I look in the prediction league. A lot of people change their prediction as soon as they saw Pope wasn't in the team. If that gave us optimism, imagine what that did for the players.
That's a good point.
What about the people at the top of the prediction league, Jeffo?
Yep, that's me, second. Yeah.
Yeah. And falling back because of your pessimistic prediction.
My lead has been chopped a bit, but I'm still sitting pretty in seconds. Yeah. Let them come.
Liam said, wiping any team in the Prem should never be disregarded.
Exactly. Yeah. There ain't no easy games in the Prem, as I'm sick of seeing.
Shiva said, the confidence and assurance from the back four was clearly self-evident and greatly improved. I wonder why. Well, let's talk about that quickly then. Because, Bulky, obviously, Pope was missing. He wasn't in the squad. Ramsdale got his chance and he's taken it. What were your thoughts when you saw Ramsdale starting? And do you think Pope is genuinely injured, or do you think it's very convenient?
I think it's very, very convenient that Pope's all of a sudden injured. To be honest, it's a lie, isn't it? Let's be honest. He's been left out to give himself a little bit of time to reflect, and there's been a little bit of an injury made up so that he can save face a little bit. One thing I would say, if that is true, which I think probably the majority of fans do think, is that you've got to then think, hang on, so we've ended up with Brad Friedel on the bench. So if anything had happened to Ramsdale in the first 5 minutes,
it's a long time since we had Brad Friedel, but
sorry, what's his name? Brad
Ruddy.
Ruddy, sorry.
Ruddy.
That's
I thought it was a joke.
No. I don't know where that came from. No, but we end up if we did
Actually,
end up with,
we've never had Brad Friedel, but we were, when Keegan was here, we
we'd
were
go after him, yeah.
linked with him.
But if it would end up with Ruddy on the pitch if Ramsdale got injured, so as I say, if Pope isn't injured, it is a bit of a worry that they're using that as sort of a little bit of a get out to change the team. But in regards to it, I mean, as soon as Ramsdale started, you can just see how much more relaxed it makes the back four. It means that
Not just a back four. If anybody watching it, because we all know when players play the ball back to Pope, we are all pooping our pants, basically.
Yeah, but it wasn't only that. When it's sort of things like I mean, there was that one corner where he looked a little bit iffy, but most of the game he just seemed to command his box, and he seems to be more of a presence in there. He just seems like more. It just as I say, it just makes the team look a lot more calm. And
But here's the thing: are you saying that the one, except for that one incident, are you talking about when he just shoved Barnes out the road? Is that the one you're on about? Because honestly, that's what I want to see a goalkeeper do.
Yeah. Clear everything. It doesn't matter.
Clear the lot.
But as I say, he just looks so much. I don't know if you lads feel the same, but he seems more of a presence than Pope. He just seems to be, and I think it's because we've seen Pope's confidence go down over the last few weeks so much that now having Ramsdale there and obviously having that little bit of confidence, and it's obviously that players like him around him as well. He's just fitted in perfectly and just made the whole game a lot calmer.
Well, like Liam said, if Ramsdale keeps his place, I will miss the collective gasp and
the cheek clench. I like it.
But listen, the way he was distributing the ball with his feet as well is so refreshing to see. The first thing he did when he pinged a little daisy cutter, I can't remember who it was, and I'm thinking, he's arrived. He's arrived.
Out of bounds.
Yeah, it's refreshing.
Well, actually, no. When it went to Voldemort and Voldemort put Barnes, because that was one of the chances, because Barnes didn't have a stellar day yesterday. He could have had a couple of goals himself, which he didn't take.
But the significance of that, though, 2 passes and you're in on goal.
Yeah,
and that comes from the distribution of the goalkeeper.
Makes hell of a difference. Hell of a difference.
Look at the Voldemort.
To be fair, Pope, Barnes. That's another one Barnes should have had when Pope threw it to Barnes. That was amazing. That, but
look at the Voldemort.
That's a twice a season thing off Pope.
But as I say, when look at the Voldemort goal, it was all down to Ramsdale getting the ball out so quick, and we were straight on the attack down that right hand side. And if you play in Elanga, that's what you need. You need fast distribution because he's a fast player, and if they're not in a defensive line, in the correct defensive line, that's when he's going to cause teams massive trouble.
Yeah. So Jeff, speak on the rest of the selection. Obviously, Burn got moved to centre back. Tonali was rested for Miley. Elanga's coming. What were your thoughts?
Well, we definitely predicted it, didn't we? That Burn would come in at left centre back. We thought that the share playing the left centre back channel was a bit off, but we knew it was coming. But to be fair, Burn did well coming in. Apart from that, the disallowed goal, that was the only thing that had me a bit like, what's going on here? But he had a really good performance. But we just see how the difference in having the fullbacks in, what they give to us.
That was Chow, not Burn. The handball.
No, that was Burn.
No, when Burn ducked his head instead of actually going for the header. I don't know what he was doing. But with Lewis Hall, we know that he can come inside and invert, but he also gives the overlap, which then allows Barnes to come inside. Obviously, he got his assist at the end as well. A beautiful delivery, but he's got a wonderful cross. And with Tino, there's something a little bit different. I still feel Tino needs to work on his end product.
Yeah.
But he causes numerous chaos because he doesn't only just come through the middle. He was getting closer to the kind of central positions, which I haven't seen too often rather than him coming wide. But he was linking up well with that whole right-hand channel, and it gave us so many options. And you could see then Elanga benefited off that. Obviously, Miley coming in is something we've been asking for, because he brings a lot of balance. He is what I would call a tempo footballer. I personally think he would be a number 10, but in our system, he's a tempo footballer. So give it me, I'll give you your back. And he's comfortable getting players out of tight positions because he's comfortable receiving the ball and laying it off quickly. So it relieved a lot of pressure. Particularly, I noticed that it benefited Joe Linton a lot as well. So it felt like he brought balance, and I'm sure we'll get into it with the goals because he's shown that end product as well.
Well, it said, Chuval said, "Who's making way for Miley because the kid can't lose out? Big Joe's bench for me," which is it's a good headache for Eddie Howe to have.
Well, he's got a bigger headache here, hasn't he, from Shovels? Would Eddie have played Howe if he wasn't injured or supposedly injured? I think you mean Pope Shovels.
Yeah, we read that one. All right. So Bulky, what were your thoughts on seeing Alanga start? Would he be your choice, your first choice to start?
It's a tough one this season because he obviously hasn't been great, but I think now that he has started, he got an opportunity, and he set up a chance and didn't have a bad game. You've got to give him a little bit of a run now. We paid a lot of money for him, so we need to start seeing him starting games and seeing what he can give the team. So yeah. At some point, it was always going to be that lad needed to get a little run in the team, and I think now the last thing you want to do is knock his confidence by taking him out for the next game. So leave him in and let him have a little run and see where it goes. Hopefully it's the start. And if we're playing like we did against Everton with the more sort of the little step up a little bit, then yeah, he's a good player. That's the problem that you can see. There's a player there somewhere. We just need to work a bit like Voldemort. We need to work our style around him a little bit and understand his game.
Okay.
Well, you're on about Alanga. How much did he benefit from Ramsdale being in goal? I mean, that assist he got was completely down to Ramsdale.
Yeah. Liam said Everton attack and direct play suited Burn. Not every opposition does, but Burn's leadership and marching was excellent yesterday. And he's also said no way does Alanga play on Tuesday. Murphy's there, tormentor, which is interesting, which we'll talk about as well. But to get into the game itself now, obviously we started like a house on fire. It started off with that one-on-one from Alanga, to be fair. Who was it that put him through? Was it Voldemort that put him through?
It was.
Yeah. The Alanga one-on-one early on after 21 seconds.
Oh, yeah, Voldemort, yeah.
Lovely ball.
Lovely ball. Put Alanga through. And to be fair, that is a man short on confidence because I thought he could maybe either hit it harder or taking another touch before we get close to the goal and hit it. But he's forced what's his name? What's the keeper's name again? Pickford into a save. And obviously he's gone for a corner. And from the resulting corner, a great victim ball from Miley. And
what a ball, yeah.
What a ball. And there's Malik Chow to score his first goal for Newcastle. Great header in record time. Fastest goal this season. It broke Foden's record earlier on, a couple of hours before. And yeah, talk about that goal win. What were your thoughts on the goal itself?
Well, I just thought, I thought Alanga could have done better himself, to be fair. But he got it on target. That's the main thing. Get your shots on target. That's the main thing. And so Pope had to make the save, and just what a brilliant delivery from Miley. And we saw that we had Miley taking them from the left wing and Lewis Hall taking them from the right wing. And whereas when I commented, when we're doing the watch along on the Marseille game, I commented on, I said, oh my God, look at this, Lewis Hall's going to take that corner on the right. And he didn't get it past the first man. And it looked like a poor corner. And when he took the first corner yesterday, the same thing happened. He put it in the exact same place, but this time, I forget who it was now. It was obviously scripted because who was it again? Ran from
I thought it was
the lineup to that exact place. And played it back, but it was very good defending then. The defender saw it and cut it off. But otherwise, it would have been straight from the set piece book. And I thought the set pieces yesterday generally were a lot better. And as this Martin Mark making his mark, as it were.
Yeah. So that was 1-0. Great header, great start to the game. Like we mentioned before, we tend to, like as usual, we take the lead and then we kind of fall back a bit. Everton got a little bit of control of the game, created one or two half chances, but the second goal, yeah. Jefferson, what was your thoughts on the second goal itself, Miley?
I mean, obviously, it's a great technique the way he swings his foot because he kind of kicks it down and it gathers pace. And this is what I've been saying, that the boy needs to be closer to the box. I think naturally he is more of an attacking midfielder. He can do something. He can shoot. He can lay off pass. And he gets a good shot off. I think Tarkowski's in the way of the goalkeeper, so that affects his sight. And if you see the still image, Pickford actually closes his eyes, so I don't know what he's doing, and then the ball goes through his legs, I think.
Yeah.
So bit of a messy one, but like the way Miley struck the ball, it looked true. He struck it true. It looked nice, and yeah, happy for that second goal. You're almost like, oh, okay, things are picking up.
And did you say who got the assist?
Oh yes, Dan Burn. We know this win. Don't worry about it. We get it. Yeah. But speaking of though, the building.
But what a great job he did though, keeping that from that crazy shot that was a mile off.
Talk about Tino's shot, please, because that was wild.
That was wild, and how Dan Burn managed to keep that in and keep it in play was amazing.
No, to be fair, like Jefferson said, it was a good hit from Miley. If you don't shoot, you don't score. End of the day,
it was just a thing of beauty just for Pickford.
Yeah,
I think if he keeps letting goals in like that against, we need to start singing Pickford as a Geordie, don't we? Because
they gave him some stick yesterday. Not all.
Yeah, he always does. To be fair to him, though, he gives it back
he normally rises to it.
He's quite good at sort of taking it and then giving it back out.
True. But listen, we got the second goal, right? 2-0 up, and even then, I still thought, we definitely need another, right? And who wants to? I'll go to you.
That settled my nerves, I've got to say, somewhat, because from scoring, very similar. Again, I said in commentary, very similar to Marseille. We were kind of under the cosh for 10 minutes or so, and had a couple of chances.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they had a couple. I don't know. They were pressing, but they weren't that threatening. Because I can't remember a save that Ramsdale had to make in that time. To be fair, but
because the defending was excellent.
I thought what we did was we forced them wide. And we got caught out a couple of times with some incisive passing. And this is what I meant, like Dewsbury Hall and Grealish were actually doing good reverse passes in, and it would get to Barry and then nothing would happen. So, we're lucky we've come up against a striker like that. But other than that, I think the pressing we did and the way we marshaled them to weaker areas where they couldn't really hurt us was a good sign off the ball, that we worked hard off the ball. But I really feel that their striker, he let them down. He wasn't having a good day.
You say, obviously, like you said, force them wide, because especially on their left-hand side, right? They've got Grealish, who isn't, he hasn't got the pace to beat a Tino. So I think we were comfortable on that side. And on the other side was Ndoye, but Hall is quick enough to keep up with him. So I think that was very clever what they did, like you said, to try and force them to the wide channels and stuff, because they offer nothing centrally anyway. So it's pretty good tactics there. Who wants to talk about the third goal? Who wants to go first about this third goal? Because
I go with the third goal.
It was a thing of it. Go on, Volk. It was a thing of beauty.
It was beautiful to see a keeper actually play a ball out that made us go straight on the attack. Beautiful ball forward to Elanga. Well done to Elanga for managed to get the ball in despite losing his balance. And then Voltemora, the more you watch that finish, the more you appreciate how good it was. There was as a lad who hadn't scored for 5 games for her, there was absolutely no panic in him. There wasn't a worry in his eyes. He knew exactly what he was going to do. As soon as that ball came across, he had that full idea in his head. and it was just a thing of beauty. The whole goal itself, just seeing would be able to go from the back to the front that quickly and score a goal like that. If that becomes part of our game, that's a massive thing for us. That's sort of a great thing moving forward.
It was.
The only thing I would say about the third goal was it was poor defending. For a longer to get through there between the two of them was
Oh, come
poor
on, man.
defending.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was three great goals. Let's not play ourselves down. It was a great goal.
It
yeah,
was.
potentially.
Yeah, I agree.
They could have done, potentially
got
they could have done
lucky.
better.
I think there's a bit of both because listen, it was a great move for Ramsdale to release the ball quickly, and if you know, Elanga was calling for the ball from Tino from very early, which Tino did. And listen, a great chip ball over to him, and for Elanga to put that ball across while falling backwards, and obviously the finish was exquisite. The only thing from Everton's point of view is the midfielders allowed the ball to bounce over his head to get to Elanga, and they've left Voldemar pretty much wide open in the center of the goal. So in that respect, it's bad defending. But you create your own luck. I think the build-up play was excellent, and the finish, well deserved with the build-up.
The
itself.
finish was just as you say, thing of beauty.
Yeah, Jefferson with Voldemar. Listen, his repertoire of goals that he scored from us is amazing. Yeah. First of all, where would you rank that in the goals that he scored? Yeah, and I asked this question repeatedly. How many goals can he get this season in all competition, do you think?
That might be the best goal he scored for us this season so far, in terms of the technique. And I put the word composure. It was ice cold, and very Eric Cantona-esque, very Dimitar Berbatov-esque. The skill level is exceptionally high. So when you see goals like that, you just got to marvel with superlatives for goals like that from a striker like Voltemada. So very pleased he scored that goal, broke his duck from recent games. I think again because he is a focal point of our attack, and I think a key component would be whether Vissa comes back. Because then I think he may have to have like a different role, like a second striker role. He'll definitely get double figures because he got 7 is it 7 in the Premier League at the moment?
Yeah, no, five in the Premier League, 7 in all competitions.
Yeah, I think initially I said 15, and I still kind of stick with that. It's going to be 15-16 territory.
Is that league goals or in all competitions?
All comps.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, I can see him when Vissa comes in. He'll be further back and he'll be like laying on assists because that was his main role at Stuttgart. That's where he thrives. So I can see him kind of swapping over with Vissa.
Okay.
As regards being his best, I still thought the Brighton back heel was.
Oh, the back heel. Okay.
That's the creme de la creme for me.
What about you, Boki?
But great finish. No, you can't take anything away at all from that. It was superb.
I think that was a brilliant finish. That was my goal this season. And as for the amount of goals that he'll score, as you say, it depends what happens when Wissa comes in. But I think it'll easily be 15 to 18 goals this season that lad will get in all competitions.
I think they'll get 20 each.
Wow. 20
Fingers crossed.
That would be amazing, but I don't know. I agree with Liam. I think the penalty was his best goal. That finish was different quality, mate. But
so weird as well.
Yeah, it was. But he said he showed his calm and quality when he had one cleared off the line, no panic, quality on the ball, which he did as well.
Well, hey, by the way, the crack is while looking at Mateta in January, and did you see his penalty? Did you? Oh, you would have done. Of course you would. Were you there?
I was there. I've got it recorded as well. Yeah. I was there, man. I was there.
That was weird, that.
Mateta is very good, but my God, does he miss so many chances. He had about 4 today, and he should have put Man United away in that first half. Like, I don't know. He's good, but his finishing is not the best.
The whole thing had me baffled because, to me, if you hit the ball twice...
You've lost the penalty.
That's a foul.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He got lucky to take that again. Very lucky.
I still have no idea when the rules changed.
Yeah, remember when Mitrovic did it against us? Yeah.
I remember when
Even in the Champions League.
Thierry Henry for Arsenal did it.
It's strange.
And
very strange.
that was it. Free kick.
Yeah. Oh well, it is what it is. They lost. But yeah, obviously 3-0, going in 3-0 at half time. Now, question, Jefferson, at 3-0, did you think the game was done?
Yeah, I thought it was done. I know you was nervous. I was trying to calm you down. I was like,
Shut
don't worry,
up,
bro.
man.
I was like, don't worry, we're good.
I do not trust. I've yet to fully trust this team, especially when that goal went in, the handball one. I thought, here we go again.
We're just traumatized as a fan base, aren't we?
I'm telling you. But maybe
Oh,
I need to put more
ye of little faith.
But remember, this. We hadn't run away from home at the time, so it's like you never know. But obviously, I was proven wrong, so it's all good. But yeah, 3-0 at half time. Obviously, they had the disallowed goal. Any disagreements with the decision?
Well, I thought it was harsh, to be fair. Very harsh.
I think it was harsh, but given the rules, you have to disallow it.
Hang on. If that had been a defender, and it comes off a part of the body onto the arm, it doesn't count. If it comes rapidly off another part of the body, like off your thigh, you know, the prime example was PSG away when we were awarded a penalty against us because it hit him like a cannonball, bounced off him, off his chest and hit his arm. And they gave a and that wouldn't be classed as a penalty now under the new rules this season. So if it isn't a penalty when a defender does it, how is it? Did you think there was any? Did you think it was a deliberate action to do that?
It's not deliberate. But two things. The rules are: if it hits your hand as you scored, if you're the last one to hit the hand, the attacker that hits your hand and you score a goal, it's a handball. Also, if it doesn't hit his hand, does he control it properly? That's my question, because it's not intentional, but the ball's landed on his hand. Does he control it properly if he doesn't hit his hand?
Yeah, but it's because it's went off his shoulder, going towards his foot.
But it's helped him control the ball. That's what I'm saying.
Like I say, I would have been very unhappy had it been disallowed. If we'd scored it, I would have been unhappy. So you can't have it both ways.
I guess the way to put it is them's the rules, isn't it? That's the way of rule.
What was Byrne doing as well? What was he doing?
He got lucky there.
There's two. The only two criticisms in terms of defending I'd have was the Byrne one there. He ducks below the ball when he's tall as anything. He just needs to put his face there, and he's won the ball off. He's intercepted the ball, and then the other one was that we'll talk about it. Between Tino and Shower, they cocked that one up.
Yeah. Flynn said Alex Murphy and Neve could easily have had 15 minutes, but no. Byrne at left back, of course, still a great result, but things don't change, which is interesting. A lot of people are calling for time to play the youth and that to give them a 10-15 minutes, but it is.
What does everybody agree with that? I mean, I think these have been one of the biggest things that we've criticised Eddie on. The game is won, so there's no risk of losing it. Bring the youth on, but also rest the key players instead of running them knackered again.
Liam said, watching the game back while listening, Tino, Hall and Chow are our future. Sign them up, which is true.
Everybody knows that. That was the difference yesterday. It was as plain as the nose on your face. It's Tino and Hall playing together. We're a different animal altogether.
Win, I'll have this all week from Liam at work, so don't call out on you.
But it's eyesight, man. It's eyesight.
Well,
we're gonna have to get cover. I think we're gonna have to get.
That's
cover
the next thing,
them.
exactly. Because
we're now gonna have to buy 2 players to fill those because we can't.
That's right. Because bear in mind, as I say, in the summer, we've got Tino and Hall, who, let's all agree, they are our starting fullbacks.
Yeah.
If Hall gets injured, Tino goes there, and Trips and Kraft cover on the right. The problem this season was they were both out. So we didn't have the left back cover. So we had to use Dan Burn. Or put in a completely untried, untested Murphy, which I would never do. And anyway, he's a left centre back anyway.
Or don't loan out the one player that is your left back cover to another team.
Yeah.
But you know, again, you're talking about having, you know, both players, both fullbacks injured simultaneously. What's the chances, eh?
Our playing style means I wouldn't rule it out happening again because of our playing style, which is quite interesting because actually there were passages where we were playing some good football, and I thought, at last, this is what I want to see, knocking the ball around and not running like madmen.
But
this
the
is
thing,
what we need to see.
But Jefferson, I keep asking the question: how many games this season have we gone 100 miles an hour? Because I don't think we have. I think 3.
But it's not. But it's one of those ones where. What you could see a lot yesterday, and I think Miley was really pivotal to this, was pass and move. And there's an old schoolboy saying, let the ball do the work. It's the ball. Pass the ball. And I think we rely too much on running. We may not be doing it as quick, but it has a debilitative effect on players and the team. So looking at this, if we know that our fullbacks are key to the way we play, obviously it's very different. But if you think about Liverpool with when they had Robertson and Trent, they were so key to the way they played, isn't it?
Yeah.
We would need to get adequate cover for those two. And I'm not talking about average players. I'm talking about layering up the side so that when they're missed, they're not missed. If that
Would you say like go for like, for instance, some up and coming youth from like, I don't know, South America or Europe to cover them, like a 19, 20-year-old left back and right back, give them time to bed into the system and that, but cover when needed. Is that what you're thinking about? Or an established cover like
Yeah, if we could find one. I mean, this is where what's his name? Oh God, who's the new geezer? What's his name? Ross Wilson.
Yeah.
Will come in handy. Who can he find that is cost efficient but can adequately fill that role and grow into the role as squad players? The other thing is Pivas. I could be wrong, but I think he can play centre back, defensive midfield, and right back. So in terms, someone made a comment about do we have a utility player? That could be an option to go. Ashby, again, apparently he's not quite there, but is that about getting a run of games? Could he fill that Emil Kraft slot? With Kraft rumored to be going to Copenhagen in January. I don't know, but it's something we need to look at.
Okay, well let's finish the game itself.
So wait a minute, Jeff. You were saying it was great yesterday, seeing us adopt a pass and move philosophy. Let the ball do the work. What does pass and move rely on?
Intelligent.
Passing and moving.
Intelligent. Positioning.
It relies on accurate passing.
Yeah, agreed.
And even yesterday, some of our passing was atrocious at times.
Yeah.
True.
And if you ain't got players who can pass and move one-touch football, consistently, which it would appear we don't have, then I'm all for one. I'm a fantastic believer in one-touch football.
I think we've got about 5 in the squad. I think we've got about 5 players that can do that. I think we've got Chow, Hall, Tonali, Bruno, and Voltamada. I think.
And how did they do on Tuesday?
But when you're seeing
Nick Pope, bro. Nick Pope. Yeah? Nick Pope.
But the pressure, isn't it? Pressure. It's a different pressure, the Champions League.
But when you were saying there, our passing was terrible on Saturday.
Yesterday.
How was it? Yesterday, how was it terrible?
I don't think it was terrible.
When all the passing lanes got
not
brought
for 90
up,
minutes it wasn't, but there were spells. There were spells when we couldn't get the ball out of our corners.
But when the passing lanes got brought up after the game, there was hardly any player lost the ball.
Just to clarify, 53% to Everton's 47, and we have 476 passes, which was more than Everton's 428, but we were less accurate, 90% to Everton's 93%. But
And
90% still quite high,
You
though.
know what I mean? It is, to be fair. But let's finish with the game itself, because obviously we still got the fourth goal. We alluded to earlier. A great ball whipped in by Lewis Hall, and there's Malik Chow at the back post, the heading for his brace. Bulky, what are your thoughts on that fourth goal?
Oh, but I mean, if he carries on the way he's going, he's going to be being the best player, isn't he? He's going to outshine any of the defenders that we've got. And it was just good to see. I mean, Hall's ball in was absolutely brilliant, and the way we haven't done this for a long time. Is that the attack lost momentum, but then we got it back.
Recycling the
And
ball.
and it was like a second phase attack, which was a brilliant thing to see.
Well, it was the third phase actually, but that happened yesterday for the first time that I can remember. That happened 3 times. 3 times we'll put the original ball in, it got cleared. We'll put another one in, it got cleared, and we'll put another one in. And that was another great thing to see yesterday.
Just before we go on about this goal, is a question for you, Win. Is there a certain player who continuously gave the ball away, or is it a team problem? Because I can think of a player that was giving the ball away quite sloppily.
Yesterday,
Yeah,
specifically, who would I say was
he's about 7 feet tall.
the most? Voldemort.
Yeah, well, Mad, of course it was. Yeah, no, try the guy at the back. But anyway, it is what it is. But nah, the goal itself, Jefferson. What are your thoughts on the goal itself?
I mean, it's a heck of a delivery from a deep line in position. It shows that you don't have to go to the byline every time to cross the ball. If you've got the ability, you can back yourself from that position. I think we need to. To be honest, it's something I've complained more about, us putting too many balls in the box. But on the basis that we had that endeavour to get another one and another one, this is viable. Like, it was great to see. And it's a hell of a header as well. He just nicks in at the back post, because I can't remember who he actually gets in front of.
I don't know. Yeah,
He gets in front of, he nudges off the back of somebody. I can't remember. It might have been Byrne. I don't know who it was.
yeah, it was Burn.
He nudges off the back of him at the back post, like, as in mine, bang.
Yeah,
And that's the kind of desire you want to see. He's hungry, and we've seen it historically in certain teams. If you look at Chelsea in their sort of, years under Ancelotti and Mourinho, John Terry would get about 10 goals a season. So it can be a weapon if you've got a goal scoring centre back. So let's hope this is the start of something.
Shuvo said Charles' price tag has doubled in the time he's been in. I was going to ask a question. Is he the signing of the season, do you think? Or is there anyone you think can top that? Because at the moment I can't think of many.
Pound for pound, you mean?
Yeah. Because I can't think of many who's done what he's done, hit the ground running like that. We've got Voldemort as well, but I mean, Malik Chow for me, if he's not in that conversation, he's the number one.
I can't agree with you, D man. I can't think of another player in the Premier League that sort of set the ground running like that lad has. I mean, there was just one person that I know is a Newcastle fan who was called him out at the start of the season, and he's sitting next to us on this panel.
Oh, really?
Win didn't like him.
But when he came on against Liverpool,
Step to the front.
For the first few games, you didn't like Chow. You were calling him out in the
That's
chat. You were
nonsense.
calling him out all the time.
I called him out against Liverpool.
He was good against Liverpool when he came on.
No, his very first touch, he cost us. Well, he just about cost us a goal anyway.
Huh?
And he was only on for 20 minutes or so.
Okay.
His very first touch, and I went, "Ooh, God, what we got here?"
I saw him turn one of their.
You called him out a few times at the start of the season, Win.
So what's your opinion now, Win, then?
I think he's probably the best centre. If he can listen, man, it's a very small sample size. if he can continue like this, he's going to be the best signing since Fabian Schär.
But do you think he's the sign of the season and talking the Premier League so far?
Let's have a think. I think I'd probably still put Mbeumo in front of him.
Huh? In Bremo?
Yeah.
What the hell has he done?
He's got a lot of match-winning goals and assists for Man United.
Bloody right,
No, he hasn't, bro. He's got about 3. No. He was awful today anyway. Like he's been by his goals and that, he's been awful. And Bremo, come on, man. You lot.
Oh, yes.
But no,
Put it this way, every time I've seen him play, he's done bloody well.
Nah, I'm not having it.
Still early to say in terms of like.
Oh yeah, in terms of
the whole Premier League, but
yeah.
he's definitely. I agree with the message, the comment that he's doubled his value in. I think Gary. I think when we were on the show earlier this week, lads, I think Gary talked about potentially Chelsea being interested, and I think that's going to be a real test for us. If we get, I don't know, a 70 million bid, are we going to say no?
He's going nowhere this season, but next season he'll be here next season. He's not going anywhere, man. He's going to be here next season. I don't see anyway. He's not. No, what player stays for a season and goes? Nah, it's not happening. It's not happening, man. It's not happening.
You know the 7-foot player that kept giving the ball away.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm not talking about the short passes that he made. I'm not talking about the 5 yard.
That's all his passes yesterday, and they're not all short passes.
Well, those long ones, he can't do the long ones. That's all the short. That's what I'm saying. Because he was.
There's only 4 red ones on the chart, buddy lad.
And it was under pressure. Yeah, it caused him to be under severe pressure when he's giving it away needlessly. Yeah.
Can you count their win as well? There's more than 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I can see 6.
Yeah.
Well, the reason you can't see them is because they're covered by the green successful passes.
Oh, here we go. Everyone else can see it. Everyone else can see it.
If everyone is fit, Burn should be 3rd choice. Botman should be starting with Thiaw. I don't know what's going on, and that did upset me not seeing him in the side. I'm gonna put it out there and say I don't think he's injured. I think we've seen Eddie do this kind of thing before because he did it with Isak. Recently, with Gordon, had a hip injury out of nowhere. Pope, back injury out of nowhere. But because they've been playing poorly, there's no secret that there's been contract talk. So, if he's not signing or that's not gone down well, Eddie's going to punish him probably by not playing him. I don't believe it. I don't believe he's injured.
Yeah, I think there's more to it than
he looked totally fine.
Yeah. It's very strange. But listen, we went 4-0 up, and obviously they got their 1 goal. Jefferson, I know you had something to say about who was more at fault for it, Chow and Tino. Who would you lean towards, or was it both of them?
I think it's Tino because, I guess in my twilight years, obviously nowhere near pro level, but playing centre back, ideally, obviously you have to. If you're the fullback, you have to anticipate that the centre back might not win the ball. So be ready to close the gap or sweep in behind. And as it turns out, Thiaw doesn't win the ball. And then Tino, he's not got there.
He's caught sleeping a bit on his heels.
And we have seen it historically with Tino.
I was going to say,
lapses of concentration and his lackadaisical style. Again, we're talking about a thoroughbred player that's going to go on to be really great. But these are the little things he can improve on to really escalate. In my opinion, I would put that just on Tino there. I'm sure Thiaw would be looking to think, hey, man, I thought you'd get me out of jail here. Like, what are you doing? But, I don't know what you guys think.
It's a pity.
I think Chow will be looking himself in the mirror and saying, should have done better there, really.
So you're putting it more on Chow than Tino?
I'm not... why do you have to point the finger at anybody?
No, you don't. But
I'm just saying that. I don't know. It's 50-50. You don't know what they're both thinking. You don't even know what Ramsdale had done. Had Ramsdale made a call? Because he should have done.
I think what you have to see is as well that one of them just needs to take control of the situation. Doesn't matter which one it is. Just if one of them takes control of that, it gets petered out. Neither of them did, so it was a bad moment. But let's not dwell on something that.
By the way, what a
what
fabulous control. I mean, that was just
control.
Yeah,
that.
heck
We're
of a
talking
goal.
about Voldemort's goal being a thing of beauty. I tell you what, that'll take some beating.
Can you imagine if that was Gordon trying to control that ball?
Wow. They've gone out of play. But that's
Well-
to back up his impressive goal against Man United,
United,
by the way, as
yeah.
well. And I think he scored an absolute thronker earlier in the season against Wolves. So he's one to watch because I think he didn't get much playing time at Chelsea.
And that,
And I think Everton paid, was it 32 million? And people said it was overpriced. But the bits and pieces I've seen of him, he is quality. And he showed it there in that goal, with that goal.
yeah. But I was going to say, obviously, right, we've got the 4-1.
What do you think about Garner's performance yesterday? Because
He is
obviously
shit.
He's overrated anyway. I don't know.
heavily linked with him.
Yeah, let's keep him away from our club.
If we
please.
pay 40 or
Yeah.
45 for him, it's
Yeah. It's 40
need to
million too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need to stop buying players like this now. Players that we're buying have got to be top class and be able to come into the team.
Yeah.
We've got with squad players. We need good players now.
Well, here's a question. Tony said, did Barnes do much? Right? Now, my thing is, I was going to ask, how long will it take Eddie to replace Barnes with Gordon? Yeah? Because to me, that was good. That was Barnes' probably first iffy game in a while, right?
Probably Tuesday.
I think, it doesn't take long for Eddie to go back to his favourites. So I think...
No, that's it. It's nothing to do with going back to favourites. You're talking about rotation.
All right. But does Eddie have his favourites win?
I don't think he particularly does, no.
So Dan Burns not one of
With
his
a
favourites?
possible exception of Nick Pope.
You don't think Dan Burns one of his favourites?
No. Well, I think Dan Burns one of the first names on his team sheet because he's a damn good player and he gives you everything.
Okay.
And he does a job, and he's England's current centre half.
Forget.
Why would you not pick him?
I don't care if he plays for England. Who cares? What's that got to do with anything? It's Newcastle, bruv, not England. We don't care about what England. Nah, you should be.
Because if you play for England, you're rubbish. Like
No, it's not that.
Not
Why,
good
why
enough
should,
to.
why
You're
should
good
that-
enough to
why should that-
play for England, but not good enough to play for
No,
Newcastle.
but
Shut up, man.
Why should that have any bearing on what you selected for Newcastle? England is a completely different entity. Gordon starts. Hold on. Gordon starts for England. Why should he start for Newcastle because he starts for England? No, he shouldn't. No.
But not right now. We shouldn't. No,
Right,
because
exactly.
Barnes
So it has no bearing on your selection for Newcastle. Yes or no? Or it should have no bearing. Yes or no? I don't care who you play for in the country.
Yeah, but the reason I'm saying not for Gordon is because he's not playing well for Newcastle.
I'm not saying
Dan Burn is playing well for Newcastle.
What I'm saying is Dan Burn is one of Eddie Howe's favourites. Yeah, the proof's in the pudding. Why did he drop? I'm not saying it, but why did he drop Fabian Schär? Everyone knew he was going to drop Fabian Schär to bring Dan Burn in. Yeah, for what reason? Fabian Schär hasn't been awful.
Because Fabian Schär is not as good a left centre back as what Dan Burn is.
Yeah, but Fabian Schär performed okay. He didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? So if you're going to put people on merit, yeah, the last time Dan Burn played, he got ripped. What position it was, it don't matter. It
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what position it was. God almighty, man. Get off the...
He got sent off.
He's from Blythe, you know.
and that's half the reason why he's coming into the team. You know what I mean?
And quite right, too.
Listen, we just knew...
Oh, look, Bogey's from Blythe and all.
Who?
Bogey. He's got Blythe in there.
I'm at Blythe right now.
Is the sort of thing? Is this a ruse disguised as rotation, and then will we revert to the favourites? I also think the Pope one, he knew the fans and everyone was on his back.
Exactly.
If he'd picked Pope,
but the question is, when does he bring Nick Pope back? When does he bring Nick Pope back?
It's going to be a similar situation to Dubravka, isn't it? If you remember when Dubravka came in, we had that 9-game winning run.
Yeah.
And he was playing so well, he couldn't bring Pope back. And it was when, I think, was it the game we conceded 4 goals? I can't remember who it was against. He was just like, right, now's the time to bring him in. See, he's gonna wait for
Was it Bournemouth?
Ramsdale. It might have been Bournemouth. It was someone we lost to.
No, it was.
Well, Villa? No, not Villa. It was someone. I think we lost by a few goals. Either he made a mistake or we lost by a few goals. But it's like he waited for him to make a mistake before he could bring him in.
Yeah. Actually, in the game in question, to my way of thinking, because there was all
Man City, yeah.
All the chat at the time, which I was arguing against, was that Dubravka wasn't better than Pope. Look, he let 10 goals in 4 games. He let 10 goals in playing behind a defence that wasn't the same defence. You know, all of those games on the trot, they were chopping and changing all of the time. Didn't get a chance to. And once it settled, then he was magnificent.
But
as we knew he would be.
D-Man,
I knew he would be.
In actual answer to your question, yes, Eddie Howe has his favourite players. And yes, Pope, Byrne and Gordon will get back in this team as quick as he can do it, because he's proved it in the past and he'll do it again.
Yeah,
we know he will.
Yeah.
He's going to fall on his own sword anyway, because the level of the team drops.
Let's see. First of all right. Give it.
Okay, if that's the case, why on earth would Eddie Howe deliberately, just because of favouritism, deliberately get worse results?
Well, it's not deliberately, but he's ignoring the obvious that certain players either shouldn't be starting.
Well, and you see, I think he's more intelligent than that, and I don't think he does that.
So what? You telling me Nick Pope wasn't due being dropped for a while? Fans haven't been calling.
I'm saying with the exception, because goalkeeper's a separate position. Goalkeeper, he in his own mind, he thinks that Pope's shot-stopping abilities outweigh his other deficiencies. Nobody agrees with him, but that's what he believes. And finally, you know, you've only got to look at the recent performances. And
what about Anthony Gordon? Why would he persist to play Anthony Gordon with no GA in 20-odd games, whatever it was?
Because nobody had any GA.
What?
Nobody had any GA.
So Barnes didn't have any GA in 21 games.
And by the way, when he was playing Anthony Gordon at the start of the season, he was playing him as a striker.
Right, but when he played him as a winger, yeah, and he's still doing nothing.
One of the main reasons for our poor start of the season is because the wingers simply haven't been performing, and the reason the wingers haven't been performing is because they haven't had proper fullbacks behind them.
When you're deflecting from the question.
Yeah. No GA in 20-odd games. That goes into last season, by the way. So why is he continuing?
Yeah, I know. You don't need to tell us the stats. I know the stats.
I'm asking the question. Why did he persist in playing Anthony Gordon in that position when he's not performing?
In which position?
The wing.
Right. Well, so Barnes wasn't performing either.
So
Elanga wasn't performing either.
So who performed better?
None of the wingers were performing.
Joe Linton win. He persisted with Joe Linton. He's brought in Lewis Miley, and he's had a stellar performance.
He had a great game on Saturday. Absolutely.
All
great
Joe
game
Linton
on Saturday.
is doing at the moment is running into people, bumbling into them, fouling
Joe
them.
Linton had a good game on Saturday as well.
It's probably his first good game in about 10 games. Seriously. He's been below standard since he signed his contract, in my opinion.
That's your opinion.
Since
he signed his contract.
Point Mac said Barnes' goal return over the total minutes is nearly twice that of Gordon. So ask again, why was he persisting with Anthony Gordon?
Because Barnes, great coming off the bench. Every time Barnes got a run of games, he was poor.
Sorry?
Every time Barnes started and got a run of games, he was poor.
When Gordon got injured and suspended whatever last season, Barnes went on that run. Was that from the bench?
No. He was scoring all his goals from the bench. When he actually got a start, he wasn't scoring any goals.
Again, when Barnes had that run, you're not listening to what I'm saying. When Barnes had that run last season, when Gordon was injured and suspended, was he doing it from off the bench, or was he doing it when he was starting?
He did. How many goals and assists did he have when he started last season?
He had about 11 GA in that particular.
He had three starting.
But he was our second top goal scorer.
3 goals, Win. Are you sure? When he scored 2 against Manchester United, is that it? Are you sure?
Starting, I'm talking about.
Yes, Win. Look at the run that he went on. You're telling me he scored 3 goals in that thing because he scored 2 against Man United. So for the rest of them, he didn't do nothing. He scored against Palace. For the rest, he didn't do nothing. Are you sure?
Well, look at it. Well, let's have a look at his goals last season.
GA, I've said. GA.
Well, look at his GA last season.
Win, can I ask you a question? Win. Did he play well?
He's looking now. He's looking.
Did he play well enough?
All of this.
You better believe it.
No,
because I did all this last season, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, did he play well enough to keep his position? Did he play better than Anthony Gordon? Even GA or no GA?
Exactly. Yes, he did, and that's why I'm saying on current form, Barnes keeps his players.
No, but I'm saying why was Gordon? So why did he persist with Gordon when Gordon was doing nothing? You said about things GA. Gordon had no GA in 20 odd games. He still hasn't done it.
Right. He had no GA in 20 odd games, which everybody knows that stat. It's out there for everybody to see. What you get from Gordon when you're not getting GA is work rate and pressing that you don't get off Barnes.
Right. And when we went on that record-breaking run, the second one I'm talking, Barnes was the consistent one starter in that team. Yeah? So forget the pressing or whatever you do it. He was effective. He was obviously effective. Yeah? That's what I'm saying. But the moment he has back-to-back bad games or even one bad game, he's out of the team and Gordon comes straight back in because he's one of his favourites. That's what I'm saying. Yes or no? Do you not agree with that?
No.
I think we're a worse team with Pope, Joe Linton, Gordon, and obviously if he persists at times with Burn at left back, we're clearly a worse side.
Look at that stat. Last time Gordon assisted was last January. So I don't care what Barnes did with 3 goals, whatever. That's a lot more than Anthony Gordon did.
That was against Southampton, I think it was.
Can I just say, it's not. We're not trying to call Eddie a how out necessarily. When it's not necessarily a wrong thing to have your favourite players that you want to play, but as fans, you've got to be able to say, well, is that what he's doing? And yes, he is at times. I don't really see how you can say he hasn't got his favourites.
A forward is there to create and help us scoring, not work rate. Fully agree. Fully agree.
I absolutely agree. A winger is based on his goals and assists. Absolutely every day of the week. But if you're not doing that, you've got to be doing something else. And when Barnes doesn't do it, like yesterday, you get nothing else from him.
But Gordon wasn't even pressing like this. This is what I'm saying. People were questioning his work rate. They said his head was turned because he wasn't doing that. You know what I mean? So
I'll be up for selling him.
You know what I mean? But anyway, listen, where we are at the moment, right? Where we are in the league anyway.
13th.
Where are we? We're up to 13th.
Which is why we shouldn't get too excited.
Agreed. Yeah? Now, what will it take, Bulky, for you to think that the corner has been turned?
Well, we need to go on a run. And I know Win keeps him with won, whatever, as 9 out of 13. But we need to go on an actual run where we're winning Premier League games consistently.
Oh, it's Premier League now, only.
Oh, my days.
You just keep moving the goalposts.
We have to win in the Premier League, Win.
This is what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Is the GA thing actually that everybody knows? That's the league we're talking about. So let's talk about the league. Yeah, I'm talking about the league. We've already been performing in the Champions League. So my question to Bogue is that what will it take for a team to be turned in the Premier League? Because that's where we're languishing in 13th. Yeah.
And I'll say again and again and again, why do you want to be up there in the league to get into the Champions League? So why, when you get into the Champions League, which is what I criticised Eddie for, do you not prioritise the Marseille game against the Everton game?
Well, he played arguably a stronger team against Marseille, so he did prioritise it, and we lost. Anyway, yeah? But I'm asking in the league, what will it take for our season to be return. You said a consistent run of games, Bulky. Yeah. How many
Basically-
games are you talking?
I mean, to be fair, it's the Premier League, so you can never say we're going to win every game and we're not. But if the performances get better and we start getting the away form in place, well, home form hasn't been bad, to be fair. So I just think to see improvement, it's the big thing for me is to see Eddie Howe actually do what he's done the last couple of games and actually use the squad that he's got and be able to move things around. I know
But use
Wynn
the
doesn't
fullbacks that he hasn't had available.
But Win again. We spent £260 million in this. If you want to go through this, we spent £260 million in the summer. 2 fullbacks being out should not affect our team. And if that's the case, then Eddie Howe absolutely mucked up that transfer window. So if you want to go down that route, we will.
Yeah,
But
let's.
in regard, right? So he mucked up that
There you
transfer
are.
window. In
There's
which case,
there's the net spend last season.
What are we
Weren't we the
talking
third
about?
But
high?
it's
I'm
not
sure we
net
were the
spend.
third highest spenders. I'm sure we were this summer, right? I think
Right,
Liverpool were first.
Net spend, we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th. Net spend.
So what?
Yeah,
what-
Win-
That's 'cause of the
Where
East
win the
Packdale.
Premier? Where win the Premier League win?
Where are we
Where
in the
win
Premier
minute,
League?
Where win the minute in the Premier League? You're
We
using that
are-
numpty. You're using that numpty stat. We are 13th in the Premier League, but we had a 9th biggest spend. So in which case we're still
we're joint
even you-
12th, and,
No,
and, we're,
we're
and we're
13th.
3 points behind 7th.
Even
Come
using
on,
your,
man.
your stats, that's ridiculous. Using your stats, we're still behind where we should be. So you're putting stats up there that prove the point that he's not doing it well because he's more than 9th biggest spenders.
What I'm saying is there's been reasons for it. We haven't had a striker for the first 4 games, which cost us 7 points. We haven't had the 2 fullbacks available.
Excuses.
And your argument of that, which is a valid argument, is 3 injuries shouldn't have that dramatic an effect on the team. It just so happens that those 3 injuries, which were crucial to us, which was a striker and the 2 fullbacks, have been absolutely crucial to us, as you can see from the very fact as soon as they've come back, as soon as the fullbacks have come back, because we ain't got the striker yet. As soon as the fullbacks have come back, by the way, the striker who was
Leave that
50 odd
comment,
million,
man.
50 odd million pounds worth of your massive £250 million spend, forgetting the fact that we got 120 back for arguably at the time allegedly the best striker in the country.
D-man, go back to
It's
Niall's
nonsense.
comment,
It's utter nonsense.
the other one.
Oh, this one.
Yeah. So we talked about this earlier this week. But for anyone that doesn't watch NUFC Talk TV, and you should, because they're our collaborative partner channel, and I'm sure some of you already do. But myself and Boki were ambushed on one episode where we were told to stay stum whilst Win and Gary, the Geordie Yam Yam, who's been on the show before, did a presentation on how we had the best transfer window ever and we'd assembled Newcastle United's greatest squad ever. So again, I'm throwing that back to you, Win. If we assembled the greatest squad ever, we had the best window ever, we only had 3 injuries and it curtailed us the start of our season. Is that factual?
Of course it's factual.
How? You're
Because
contradicting yourself then.
it's only the fact that it happened to be that we didn't need a fullback in the summer. As I've said, I said at the start of the show, at left back we had Tino, Livramento can cover for him, first choice. Second choice we got Dan Byrne, part of the best defence in the country at left back. If Tino has to go to left back, we've got Trips and Kraft and Ashby to come in at right back. Not bad cover. Not as good as the originals. You can't get Seiko precision from Casio parts. But, that was sound. Fullback wasn't a thing. So what it was saying, we're saying Ramsdale, England International for Dubravka.
Former.
we'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
England international, nonetheless,
Yeah.
for a 34-year-old Dubravka, improvement. We signed Ramsey for Longstaff. Everybody, I think, would agree, improvement. We signed Elanga for Almiron. Everybody would agree, improvement. And we signed Voldemort and Visser, which is £140 million worth of your big spend that we never had available because of the Isaac cock-up until we were 4 or 5 games into the season.
So no fullbacks, seeing as they're so pivotal to the way we play.
And injury prone.
Because we didn't need them at the time. So we
why
signed
don't
Walter Morta and Wisser to replace Isaac and Wilson. In my opinion, not a bad pairing to replace the pairing that we're talking about.
Just on the fullback, hold on, just on the fullback thing, just so I'm understanding, right? You said we didn't need one, so we had Trippier, who's about 45 years old. Yeah, you've got Tino and Hall.
Trippier's 35-year-old and still a brilliant fullback.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but he's aging.
But he's injured now as well, man.
Wait a minute. So he's getting on, right? So injuries will probably catch up with him due to his age and the position that he plays. Fair enough. You've got Tino and Hall, who are injury prone. Yeah, and you've got Aspie, who no one knows if he's still alive. Right? So you're telling me that given that,
and you've got Kraft, who never let us down.
Yeah. You got Kraft, and you've got Dan Burn, who is useless at left back. Yeah. So you're telling me, given that we shouldn't have bought fullbacks.
That's exactly what I'm telling you. Not a priority by any stretch of the imagination.
You are buzzing. There is no way. Yeah, you should go into a season without backup cover for you in the fullback position.
We had backup cover, man.
No, I'm given what we have, given what we had, and the circumstances, the injury prone and the aging pensioners that we have, and the
so we should have known that Tino and Hall
given that
we're
Hall
both going to get crocked at the same time.
Tino's had 2 ACLs or something like that, or 2 knee injuries, and Hall was injured anyway. Yeah, so you're telling me that we shouldn't have prioritized at least one. I said we needed a left back at least, yeah, and we failed to do that, and we suffered because of it. Like you said, we didn't have our fullbacks, yeah. So it's poor planning.
So you say I disagree with that.
You're saying that
I completely disagree with that.
You're saying that
just one thing to say, win best squad ever.
That is lunacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
That transfer window blew your frock up, was your exact words.
Well, no, it didn't blow me frock up because the targets that we went for. And by the way, when we actually ended up getting them, and then we ended up, Ramsey got injured, Wisser got injured, Baltimore didn't come in till it was too late. You just, honest to God, it blows my frock up the way you lot go on about it.
Wait a minute. You said Ramsey got injured. Is that what you said? Ramsey got injured?
Yeah.
Tell me about his injury career for Aston Villa.
I agree with you. That was my one worry when we bought him. But I thought for 45 million, he was probably worth it.
That's madness. Their 4th choice midfielder for 45 million. I'm not saying that he's a good player, but you knew he's injury prone.
He'll come good. Don't worry about that.
I don't dispute that, but you knew he was injury prone. So I'm not having this excuse about he got injured.
No, but he was bought for the bench anyway.
Why are you back? You're spending 45 million for a bench player.
Can I just pick him up on
this,
man? That was my exact point to you, Win. We knew J7 was getting to not to the end of his career, but getting towards the end of being a first-team regular. And I said to you, we need to sign a player who can replace J7, not go and sit on the bench. And you sat there and said, "No, we just needed a bench player." You never signed bench players.
How much would you pay?
You never sign bench players. You sign players to replace, and then J7 becomes your bench player.
Right, and that's fantastic. How much are you going to pay for a player good enough to step into J7's shoes straight away?
65, 70 million.
Win.
At least.
Win. We literally
At least.
spunked 45 million on Ramsey, who was Villa's 5th choice centre
Well,
midfielder.
that's your terminology, not
He,
mine.
he, he is. They've got Kamara, McGinn, Buendia, Onana. Who else have they got in front of him? Is that the lot? He's their 5th choice. So
He's our fifth choice.
So you might as well add another 10 million and then try and get like an Edison for 55, 60 million. Then that's your replacement done.
But we went for Edison.
We didn't make a bid.
No, we didn't. No,
We didn't make a bid.
No, because he didn't want to come
the other one's Tielemans.
at the
by the way.
time.
Oh yeah,
I
Tielemans.
don't
Yeah.
think
Wow.
I don't think
6
Ramsey
points.
particularly wanted to come.
By the way, people, smash the likes while you're here, please. It's an interesting debate. Keep the like count coming up. I want to big up Catch. Big up Catch from the Catch Up. If you don't know about their content, check them out. Very good content. Pretty much daily, to be fair. Big up Catch in the building as well.
But just to say as well, yeah, we're not all jumping on Win because he's flying the flag, the Eddie flag. But based on the last NUFC Talk TV show I was on, he did say he was teetering on the edge. So he's starting to see the light. So let's give Win
My edge has been the same edge that it's been for 18 months. Come Christmas, if we're not within touching distance of the Champions League, Eddie's got to go.
Didn't you say 3 points, Win?
3 points.
3
Win.
points.
Is that not touching distance?
We're 6 points behind now.
And we've got Spurs and Burnley to come at home.
Yeah.
Let's see where we are there. At this stage last season, you know, we had all you bedwetters shouting Eddie out when we were 5-5-5 last season.
That's awful, by the way.
5-5-5 last season. 1-5, drew 5, lost 5. We went on to win the Carabao Cup and qualify for the Champions League. At the minute, in the league, we're 5-3-5, and if we beat Spurs and Burnley, which we've got every likelihood of doing, will be 7-3-5, will be 4 points better off than we were at this stage last season. Get a grip, man.
You're using the fact we had a bad start last season to prove the fact. To try to justify the fact we've had a bad start.
Because there's reasons for it, Bogey, man. The window was a shambles.
And whose fault was that? Eddie Howe?
No, it was Isaac's.
Oh my days!
We are not going to go. We're not going to go.
Let's keep it moving, bro.
We've got a few more minutes before we wrap up. Yeah.
Well, PIFs if you want them, you know.
Okay. All right.
Because they were determined to be Billy Big Bollocks and
There was
good.
one Billy Big Bollocks, as you said, who stormed up them stairs and says, "I want Mitchell out."
Correct.
Who was that?
Best decision we've ever made.
Oh, wait, listen, we're not going to get into that. Yeah, because we're here all night. Yeah, let's talk about the Tottenham game quickly before we wrap up, right? So we've got. Is it Tuesday we play Tottenham?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
And tune in to us because we're here on Wednesday.
Yeah. Now, what I will say is, we talked about earlier the changes that we think he's going to make, right? So we assume that Ramsdale's going to start again because Pope's going to see a specialist, whatever he's going to do. So he's still injured, right? Does anybody see any change in that back four?
No.
I feel like he wraps Hall in cotton wool. So I do worry. And Tino has played 3 successive games.
But is Trippier back?
No.
No, Trippier's out for a
No,
month.
certainly not that I've heard.
Right. So it's probably.
No, I think that stays as is.
Maybe he makes the changes in the Burnley game because he feels he might be able to take more liberties with that game than the Spurs game. But you just hope it's not one game too many for some.
Okay. So what about the midfield then? Because obviously Toon Army was rested. I think we agree he's going to come back into the team. Does Miley keep his place in the team, or how do you see? I'll start with you, Bulky. How do you see that midfield lining up?
For me, to be honest with you, I would go J7, Miley, and Tonali and to give Bruno a rest. Bruno's played a hell of a lot of minutes over the last few games. So I think it's maybe his time just to have a little bit of time out. And I know Bruno doesn't like doing it, but if Eddie's got the kahunas, he needs to start saying to him, "Look, you need to have time out this season to get to get yourself fit again and get yourself, give your body a rest." So for me, I would play them three.
Win, what do you reckon?
I agree. Funny enough, I would give Bruno a rest
Yeah.
and play Tonali, Maley, and Ramsey. I would play.
Okay. Jefferson?
Yeah, I'd give Ramsey a run out for his energy and then
Actually, hang on 2 secs, because Willock actually, when the twice he's played the last couple of games, he's looking as though there's just a kind of glimmer that he might be getting his
His groove
mojo
back.
back.
Yeah, I agree. I think you're right. I think he could do Tonali, Miley,
I
and
think
Willock.
he might say. I think he might save Willock for Burnley. Like with Spurs, I think he may go with a big goal. But I'd certainly play Miley again.
Yeah. So who would your freebie win?
I say I would play Tonali, Miley, and Ramsey.
Okay. I'd say Tonali,
I
Miley,
was
and
just
Willock.
wavering on the Willock instead of Ramsey
Yeah,
thing. But
I think Willock. I think Willock start. I think Ramsey might get a chance against Burnley, but I think Willock might get the opportunity again with Miley.
the main thing is if we start with Willock, and for me with Willock, you can tell after 20 minutes, 25 minutes, what sort of game he's going to have.
the thing is for me, Willock is again he's great getting up and down. I just feel he doesn't quite have that quality in the final third. He gives us a lot actually defensively, but not in both boxes. I also think as well, like with Ramsey, you spent all this money on him, you
Mm.
brought him to the club, and it's like you're not using him. I thought he had a good game against Benfica. I know Benfica weren't all that, but and I thought he did all right in at Leeds when he started against Leeds. So I think we need to bed him into the team and give him more opportunities. I very much think Willock is the past, and really with the view of Willock to leaving in January if possible. I'm hearing rumours of Fulham and Crystal Palace and that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point in spending the money on these players if
No,
they're not going to get a run in the side?
So
true.
just out of interest, D-Man, if Palace are interested in Willock, what do you reckon about Wharton coming to Toon
I'd like Wharton to come
as
to
a
Newcastle.
GS7 replacement? Because then you are talking about a proper midfield, in my opinion. Anyway, I rate Wharton. You're talking about a proper. You're going to have to pay big money for him.
Yeah,
But
Wharton.
if you can put Willock in part X.
Oh yeah, all day. You do the swap, of course you would. Wharton is quality. Don't get me wrong. He hasn't hit the heights of when he burst onto the scene with Palace that he is now at the moment, but he's still playing a decent standard. I don't know about how fit he is because he seems to be taking off quite regularly for Palace. I'm not sure, but yeah, he's quality. I definitely do that swap. But again, he cost a lot of money. He would cost a lot of money, but yeah, that would be the kind of profile that we would benefit from. But would it happen? No, I don't think so. But we'll see. We'll see. But listen, the front three, yeah, because we know Voltemada should start, right? So the other two positions, I'll start with you, Jefferson.
We're at home, so he's definitely going Murphy on the right, without a doubt. And I think that could work. There's a formula. Elanga maybe could play away. Murphy could play home when you're looking at right side, because we're less likely to play counter attack at home. I hope we're not going to play counter attack at home. Unfortunately, left side I can see him. I could see him putting Gordon there. Do you know a smart play actually? And I'm seeing him doing it historically. If he does go with a Willock, he's putting Joe Linton left side. That might work. But I don't think he would do it. I haven't seen Eddie do that for a long time, but
I mean, they were potent 2 seasons ago. Willock
Yeah.
and GS7 on the left.
Interchange and that. Yeah, it was really effective. But so you think Murphy starts? But do you think Gordon comes back? Do you think Eddie's going?
I think Gordon comes back in because he had this hip injury, right? He's obviously got over it because he played against Marseille, so
Yeah.
rested. So yeah, ready to be brought back in. I think goes without
Okay.
saying.
Bulky, what do you reckon?
Well, personally, I would keep Barnes in, but I think he will put Gordon back in. And to be honest, I slightly disagree with Jefferson on this. I would keep Alanga in the team, as I said earlier on. I think he had his best performance forward, but one of his better performances. And you've got to build that lad's confidence up a little bit. So I would put Alanga in instead of Murphy. And obviously, Voldemort up front. It's a no-brainer, that one.
Win?
Hey, you heard it here first. Mighty win the Greenwood bogey. Because
Yeah.
I would keep Alanga in as well.
Listen,
He's got his assist, you know.
and he had a
give
part
him-
to play in all 3 goals at the weekend
Give
yesterday.
him a run. Give him a run.
He plays well.
And if he puts Gordon in against Spurs, I'll not be happy. You know, I think Barnes, he didn't have a great game on Saturday, but, you know, he definitely does not deserve to be dropped.
Yeah,
So I'd
interesting.
be shocked if he was dropped.
I think Murphy comes back. I think Murphy does come back in, but I'd rather see. I would like to see Alanga get a run because, you know, like I said, he was involved in 3 of the goals yesterday. You know, maybe he's a confident. This will give his confidence a big boost. So, you know, we'll see. But listen, I think he likes Murphy. You know, Murphy does the delivery that he brings and stuff. So, you know, when he does torment Spurs, he tends to torment Spurs. So you never know. You never know. Steven said Murphy as a wing back is crap, but a 4-3-3 is fine. But give Elanga a run. Interesting. Before I go to you guys, for those in the chat, smash the likes as well. But we want to know your prediction for this game, for the Spurs game. Just give me your predictions quickly, what you think. And for you guys, Bulky, what do you reckon?
I think it'll be. I don't think it'll be as easy as we have had it against Spurs in the past. I think it'll maybe be 2-1 to Newcastle.
Okay. Win?
This can't happen. We're just going too often. I've already got my 2-1 prediction in the prediction league.
Yeah? 2-1? Okay. I'm going to say 2-1 as well. I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as a lot of people think, but Spurs are not in the best of form, but again, they are decent away from home. Yes, we beat them in the cup, but I think this will be a different story. Jefferson, what do you reckon?
I've gone 3-1. I see us scoring goals now, particularly at home.
Yeah? Okay. Well, obviously we'll be back.
It could be anything, to be fair. If we hit the ground running and the way Spurs are defending at the minute.
Kante's saying 5-0. How is it 5-0 when you lot beat them 2-1 yesterday? Do you really think they're gonna come to us and whack us up? Come on, man. You're a bloody menace.
You're taking liberties. One said 6-1. Steven said 6-1. I don't know where you not getting his confidence
People
from. Okay,
getting excited.
Fair enough.
Calm down, people.
Everyone is entitled to their opinion. I'm not so sure. But listen, is there anything else you guys want to cover before we wrap it up? Because it's been on there for an hour and a half. Anything you guys want to cover before we go?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good.
Just to clarify, Wim, before we go,
How are you, the lads?
Just quickly, where do you think we're going to finish in the league this season?
Where do I think we're going to finish?
Yeah.
Probably 4th or 5th.
Okay. Interesting. Tony said 0-1 Spurs. What? I just don't see it, but fair enough.
I'm blaming him for being cautious.
No.
Wow, Tony.
Interesting. We will see. But listen, that's your lot for this episode of 90's Mag. So thank you for all those in the chat. Don't forget, smash the likes on the way out. And like last time, it would be appreciated if you leave a comment under the page. It helps as well. The visibility and the algorithm and that, but much appreciated.
Share, subscribe.
All of that. Bulky and Win, thank you for joining us.
Wait, sorry, D-Man, sorry to cut you off. When's the next NUFC Talk TV show, Win?
10:30 tomorrow morning.
Is that with Corey, is it?
No, Chris. Chris is. I've just had a message where we were on air, funnily enough, saying 10:30 tomorrow morning.
Well, you heard it there.
The early show's back.
Tune into NUFC Talk TV, 10:30 tomorrow morning. Chris will be on live live in the flesh. But no, thank you, Bulky and Win, for joining. Been a pleasure having you both. Yeah,
Pleasure being on, mate.
Cheers, lads. Good show.
Always welcome. Yeah, thank you very much. And as usual, for those in the chat, thank you very much as well. But we'll see you on Wednesday. We're out. Peace.
Away the lads.